Hello my babies, welcome back to another video. It is your fave tarot mother. And yeah, so normally I will give you the astro tea on what's happening celestially, but this week we ain't got much going on. But what I will do is we'll go ahead and do a tarot reading of some energies that you might experience, or I think actually I feel like the message today is going to be a little bit more self-care oriented. I do have a self-care oracle deck, so we'll get into that in a sec. But quick update, if you are interested, I know that some people kind of prefer podcast over video, so what I will do is every Monday I will drop Astro Tea, which will be what we got going on right here, on wherever podcasts are available. So if you see the video, just expect, the podcast is also going to be available as well. So yeah, and I'm gonna try to, because sometimes things fluctuate, so I'm gonna try to get everything done at least by like lunchtime, like 12 p.m. around that time, so you have time to listen to it, because I try to be as flexible as possible for everyone, but also myself as well. So if you're interested, I will have the podcast available of these videos, so you can listen instead of watching, if that's your zhuzh. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the tarot message. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be self-care oriented this time around. And I also understand that, I also understand that, for some, the holidays may be a little difficult, if you're not able to travel, or, I just know that because of what's, the whole Panda Express that's happening, it makes it a little difficult for people to kind of get around as freely as they were before. So Spirit angels, guide the love and light and unconditional love and high vibration. What messages do you have for the collective regarding self-love? Oh. Okay, they're being real loud today. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so first up we have the Magician, 10 of Inspiration, or the 10 of Wands, and the Knight of Voices. You can see that clearly. And then we also have Awakening, Queen of Inspiration, and Ace of Inspiration as well. Okay, so with a Magician, it's definitely an individual who is able to take into account every single thing that they have and create something out of nothing. It's literally pure alchemy, and alchemy can, I'm sure that people have heard of the Philosopher's Stone, where you can have like everlasting life, changing mercury or some sort of metal into gold. And so I'm feeling like there's a certain idea that you have right now that is going to really blossom once you finally figure out how to implement all of your different talents and ideas into this one thing, because you also have to incorporate, again, you have to be in a space where you can put all these different elements together, but you also have to be in a space where you can receive the information from your guides, because they're also like, look, because there's like this little beam coming down right there, so it's like information coming down from the crown chakra and like bring it into your vessel. And if in the Bible, it's always like kingdom, king's dome. That's why you have the crown on the dome. Kingdom of heaven, king's dome. Like, I hope that made sense. And then we have the 10 of Inspiration. So with the 10 of Inspiration, this is always an individual who may be taking on a lot of responsibilities on their own. And I feel that there are certain things that you are a little too concerned with. As far as like small details that you can't really control. Like, say for instance, if your flight is delayed, you might start to kind of freak out a little bit or whatever, but it's like, that's something that you can't control, you know? So that's nothing, you know, I understand the frustration and everything, but it's something you can't control. So it's just like, you know what, let me, you know, since my flight is delayed, maybe I'll just explore a little bit or something like that. So it's like kind of finding ways to use your energy in correct ways, because it's like you want to use your energy to in a more positive way rather than stress and anxiety, because stress and anxiety ultimately leads to depletion every single time. So it's like, you know, and that's just a small example, you know, like as far as like the flight being delayed, which is interesting because we have the Knight of Voices and it looks like this represents the energy of swords or air. So it's like quick movement. So it's like there's certain things that you need to release now, utilize your energy in the best way so that you can move with ease. And it's also interesting that like this looks like a view out of a window of a plane too, which is really funny. And the Pegasus is over clouds as well. So this is hilarious. So yeah, it's just like there's certain details that you're a little too stressed about, and there's no need, you know. It's something like a flight delay is literally nothing that you can control, you know. And I'm sure, and take that however it resonates, you know. It could be in relationships or something like that, like maybe someone isn't kind of expressing themselves in the way that you want, or you know, they're not doing exactly what you want, but it's like relinquish control. Focus your energy on what you need. And I do feel like with the Awakening card, you're going to like recognize how you've been utilizing your energy that hasn't been because when you're in these states of anxiety and stress, it creates a lot of restriction, because it's like you go in your mind and it's just like, you know, like it's just stress, anxiety, panic. But it's like, if you realize, you know, wait a minute, this is something that I don't even need to stress about. This is something that I don't need to concern myself with. I have all these other dreams and aspirations that need my energy more so than this thing over here that I cannot control. And I think that's the biggest thing, you know. And you know, if you are an entrepreneur, that's this card all day, the Queen of Inspiration or the Queen of Wands in the tarot. So it's like you're going to be, if you allow it to happen, and all it takes is awareness. You know, there's nothing, I am a firm believer that everyone should invest in things like therapy and stuff like that. But if that's something that you cannot afford at this time, all you need to do is worry about being aware of how you use your energy, being aware of how you move. You know, if you realize that there's certain relationships where they are stagnant, they are not moving in the way that you need them to, they are draining your energy more so than building you up, then that might be something to be aware of and consider. Like, hey, how can I kind of either communicate better on what I need, or how can I maybe figure out a way to not involve myself with these individuals anymore, you know. And it's interesting, we do have the 10 of Inspiration or the 10 of Wands, and it's like these it's like you kind of like pouring your energy into all these different things. So it's like, are you willing to kind of pour your energy into something that's not going to give what it's supposed to give, you know? And then and then we have like I meant to say this earlier, but it's like, if you look at this card, there's like a little cheetah right there. And so with cheetahs, they don't use unnecessary energy. They pounce when necessary, and that's it. They wait for the right moment to move. So, and that's something that you have to also focus as well, because if you're trying to control different elements that you can't control, then it's like you're going to miss your opportunity. You know, it's like, instead of, I'm trying to think of an example, it'll come to me in a second, but it's just like, maybe there's a really great business opportunity and you've been kind of like looking for all these different ways to make this thing happen, but the answer could have been right in front of your face the entire time, or you just needed the right moment, and that's really it. And, and that's the thing. There's no such thing as coincidences. There's no such thing as controlling the outcome. All you have to do is focus on divine timing and when the right moment is to pounce on a certain opportunity, but again, if you're too distracted by all of this nonsense and all this noise of what others think of what you should do, what you should have done back then, if you're too distracted by that, you're going to miss your opportunity. I do believe that the opportunity will come back again, but still, it's like, you want to get it right the first time. That's the goal ultimately. And then we do have the Ace of Inspiration. So it's like, as soon as you figure out what you need, what you want, the Ace of Inspiration is the Ace of Wands. And so this is like the start of a certain suit. So say, for instance, if you're playing with a card deck and you have the aces, the ace is the first card of the suit of aces, or the suit of diamonds. You get the Ace of Diamonds, that's the first one. So with the Ace of Inspiration, or the Eight of Wands, once you kind of take into account and bring more awareness to what you need, how you need to move from this point on, we're about to enter into 2022 pretty soon here. So it's like, how do you want to be more intentional with your decisions? How do you want to be more intentional with how you move? How do you want to be more intentional with your relationships and how you communicate to others? And with the Ace of Inspiration, your guides are going to give you an opportunity for you to express your most passionate desires and your creative talents. But again, and it's look at it, the third eye is activated right there. So it's like, you have to be ready. It's so funny because like there's 3 cards saying that you have to be willing to receive. Like, look at all these cards and how the energy is coming from above. So it's like, you can see with all of these, like the energy, like it's going, like it's like, if you just focus your intentions on not freaking the fuck out about everything that may not be working at that moment, and that's the biggest thing that you need to, like, that's the biggest thing you need to focus on. I honestly recommend journaling, because you can kind of get all of those like nasty and low vibrational or negative thoughts that you have been kind of carrying around. Write them out. It's like, if you're feeling very doubtful about something, write it out, get it out, talk to someone, cry, whatever you need to do to get that out of your mind. Then that's what you need to do. And then after you kind of purge, figure out, what do you really want? What do you want? Because it's like a trash can, or like how can I describe it? I'll just say a trash can. It's like, you fill it up with all this bullshit and shit that you don't need, that you don't want, that you want to get rid of. And then when you empty it, it has more that can be disposed of. Like spring cleaning. It's like, you get rid of so many things that you don't need, that you don't want, that you haven't used, or that's may have, like, a t-shirt could have bad memories attached to it or something. I've done it. The t-shirt, they could have bad memories attached to it, and so you get rid of it, and then now your closet is full of space of potential, of brand, like you have space to buy new outfits that you will actually enjoy, that you will actually love, that you can use to go on a date with somebody, you never know, go on a, like, you have space to fill your closet up with like nice new like dress shirts and suits and things like that, or dress, whatever you need to just embrace the person that that you are inside. That's the biggest thing, because it's like, that you have the potential to work magic, but like the magician. But again, there's some things that you got to purge real quick, and journaling is free. You can even what is it called? It's like, it has a specific name, but I'm just gonna call it mirror therapy, where you just like stand in front of the mirror and just kind of like talk shit out, you know. In the shower is really nice, you know. And allow the water to just like wash all that shit off, cleanse your aura, wash it out of your system. I do that on the regular because I'm like, I'm enjoy the shower, but I'm also be intentional with, you know, how we go about it. So, all right, guys, what messages you have from this deck? Ah! I'm putting these back. That was too much. I'll keep that one though. All right, guys. What messages do you have? Is that it? Yo, I'll say this one. How many cards is this? That's a lot of cards. I'm gonna keep. Okay, because I had this feeling, so I'm only keeping this because that's what I feel like these cards are. They were supposed to come out. Y'all are so funny. Okay. And I knew okay, so we have a few cards that represents Wands energy from the tarot, and we do. Who y'all fucking? That's what it is. Who y'all fucking? That's it. And I did mention, okay, let me back up. The thing with the inspiration or the Wands and tarot is that they do represent some sort of sexual energy, and I did mention relationships, or maybe, you know, you're trying to control something in a relationship, or someone is not communicating in the way that you want. And the thing is, first of all, that's something not you can't control. Second, you're not communicating what you want. You know, again, we have the Knight of Voices, which is the Knight of Swords. You know, someone who is just going to just say whatever is on their mind just because, you know, or just because they like, there's been so much on their mind, and it's like, if I don't say something now, I don't know when the opportunity is going to come about. So it's like, there are certain times where you have to wait on divine timing, but then there's other times where you have to take shit by the reins and do it your damn self and just let it out, get it out, just okay. But then who y'all fucking? So the Ace of Inspiration, normally in the traditional tarot deck, it does look very phallic. Not even gonna hold you, but one thing that I've learned, especially in relationships, is that I always hear people say that, like, I need to find my half, or this person is my better half, and it's like, I don't want a half, I want a whole, I want 100%, you know. And I know that people are not perfect, and that's not what I'm insinuating. It's that, you know, in your relationships, you need someone who's going to be aware of what you need, but also you have to communicate and be aware with what you need as well, in order to communicate what exactly you need. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me try again. You have to have enough awareness and know yourself well enough to know how to communicate what you need in relationships. I think that makes sense. So essentially, it's like, you can't expect, people can't, I know I'm psychic, but like, people can't read your mind, and that's okay. But it's like, I know it's very cliche, but like, communication is the easiest thing, but people have the hardest time communicating. And it's like, if you want what you want, say that. Say what you need, say what you want, and keep it plain and simple. And I think that a lot of people are so terrified and so stressed about what they might hear, but again, you can't control the outcome, so it's like, you might as well just let it happen anyway. And, you know, with the Ace of Inspiration, it could lead to a very sexual and intimate sort of situation. But again, it's like, or maybe you need to like travel. Maybe the thing that's like in the way is like traveling to, you think you need to travel in order to do something, but it's like you don't. Work with what you have right now. So we have use your hands. This is my self-care oracle deck. So we have use your hands, massage, and then we have sex. That's why I asked who y'all fucking, because this came out and then this card came out. I can't. But yes, like massages are very sensual, and also they're a great way to release a lot of tension, especially within the body. And also like I'm a potter, so I know how to like I need to practice a little bit, but I know how to throw on the wheel, and it's a very sensual thing. I ain't gonna get into it, but if you know, you know. It's a very sensual act, and it's also like when you're in that moment, you have to be present, and you also have to use your intuition, because like the clay is going to tell you what it needs when you're working with it. So you have to be present, you have to be aware. And so again, it's like if you're too focused on controlling the outcome, it's not going to work the way you think it's going to work, you know, because sometimes you can make a really, and even when you finish when she finished making this vessel, you know, you could pop it in the kiln to or to bake it, to fire it, and it might explode. Like there's so many things that could happen, but again, you have to detach from the outcome and just know that like you can always start over. You can always reevaluate what you're doing. You could always change things. And I feel like a lot of people are basing certain experiences on the past, but again, it's the past. But the future is something that you have control over, to the extent that you could set intentions and slowly but surely move towards what you want. It's not like, you know, Nipsey said, it's not a race, it's a marathon. You know, it's like you have to take those steps sometime, and it's like once you do, it's going to be really beautiful what you kind of stumble upon, or what your guides have in store for you, or your intentions finally manifesting in the physical realm. And with sex, it's like, I think people, and I blame media and things of that nature, but people really underestimate the power of sex. So if you do not have a partner right now, you can do this alone. I will do I've done it before, but I will do a episode or a video or something on sex magic, because it's the power that you have. Long story short, when you are having sex with someone, you create a portal. You create a vortex. No, I'm right. You create a portal or a vortex. You create both, whatever. But anyway, you create, it almost has the equivalent of a black hole, where it sucks everything in, and then it releases this like burst of energy, you know, when you finally orgasm or whatever. And then it's like, when you release, that's like all of your intentions, all of your motives, all of that, you know, kind of being spread out into the universe or whatever. The thing is, I'm trying to like not give too much away, because I want to like the suspense. But anyway, the thing that people don't understand with sex, you know, you can do this with a partner or without, is that you can use it to manifest, which is amazing. And sexual energy is more powerful than meditating for like 15 to 20 minutes. And I also believe that for a lot of people, I don't agree. You can do what you want, but I don't agree with masturbating every day, because if you like, again, it's very similar to the 10 of inspirations. You're pouring your energy into random shit, whatever you're focusing on in that moment. And it's like, you really want to be intentional with your energy. Make sure that when you are having sex with someone, that they are in alignment with what you want, what you need. And you know, sexual transmitted energies are real. So if they're feeling depressed and sad and all of that shit, you are going to take on that energy. So it's like, you really have to be careful about what you give and what you receive. But anyway, just sex is a really good way for releasing anything. And it also could be negative mindsets. It could be negative energy, but it could also be releasing your intentions out into the universe so that you can get what you want. So you can manifest. But again, be intentional. Make sure that you ask for exactly what you want. Which helps. And I'm hearing that, like, don't be too specific. Like, give yourself like a little bit of breathing room. Like, say for instance, you could be like, I want a pink Ferrari, you know, and it's like, but you know that you're the kind of person that kind of changes your mind a lot. So it's like, maybe just ask for a Ferrari, you know, that to, you know, just give yourself a little bit of, because it's like, if you ask, like, your guides are going to give you what you ask for. But if you kind of change your mind, it kind of, there's a lot of things in the cosmos that have to be shifted in order to, like, get you what you want, if that makes sense. Like, it's going to take like, divine timing is going to take just a little bit longer because your request keeps changing. But yeah, the main thing that I feel like your guides are saying right now is to release what you don't need. Make sure that you are being intentional with your energy. You have everything you need to get to where you want, and point blank period. And if you are wanting something very intimate with someone, like sex, make sure that, because casual sex is a fucking joke, to be real, because again, it always happens. Somebody gets attached. So I think, again, it's like, are you having sex with someone that you want to attach yourself to, is a really, really, really big thing. Is this someone that you want to pour your energy into? And again, it might not, I think we're kind of honing on sex right now, but it might not be sex. You know, sexual energy is pure creativity. So it could very well be you using your sexual energy to create, you know, because you can transmute that energy into something else, you know. I'm like, even for myself, I do that all the time, because I feel like right now I'm an entrepreneur, and, you know, I'm trying to work on many different things behind the scenes. And so I can transmute my sexual energy into creative energy. And that's how I've been able to stay very consistent with a lot of the things that I'm kind of doing, you know, like drawing every day is something I really enjoy. So it's like, you know, switching things up, you know, you don't always have to focus on sex. It's great, but it's like, at this time, let's focus on something a little different. But we'll get into sex magic another time. But yeah, that's all. I was trying to make this video short, but God had some shit to say, so here we go. So yeah, good luck out there, and I'm wishing all of you the best. So have fun, use protection, and make sure that you're having sex with somebody that you want to be attached to. Make sure that you're joining a community that you actually want to be a part of, or a business, you know, a family is a huge thing. So keep that in mind, and yeah, good luck.